Warren Buffett is one of the richest men on the planet. At the moment, his fortune is estimated at… However, you'll learn about this at the end of the video. I don't want your thoughts to be occupied by those numbers. Better think about this. When the cryptocurrency was born, Buffett was already 82 years old. To put it mildly, this is a rather old age. This is usually the time when people finally stop learning new things and just live out their lives in a cozy house somewhere in Alabama. But Buffett isn't that kind of guy. Caught up the emergence of cryptocurrencies at such an advanced age, he not only doesn't ignore them, but he analyzes and, spoiler alert, even invests in them. Actually, Warren Buffett's attitude to cryptocurrency is what we are going to talk about. Buffett is an amazing man. At age 11, he tried his hand at the stock market for the first time, buying shares in City Service at $38.25 apiece. First, their price dropped to $27, then rose to $40, and Buffett sold them to make a $5 profit, minus commission. The irony is that a few days later, this company's stock was worth more than $200. At age 13, he filed his first income tax return. At age 15, he created his first business, which he sold a year later for $1,200. And at age 35, he bought the legendary Berkshire Hathaway, which at the time produced textiles. And then it carried on, buying fallen shares, selling them in growth, buying them falling, selling them growing, and so on until now. The most important thing here is to understand Buffett's principle of investing: buy cheap, sell expensive. But we got distracted by the biography. That's not what we're interested in. So how does Buffett feel about cryptocurrency? In fact, it's not also clear-cut. Bitcoin is rat poison squared. That's the rhetoric he had for Bitcoin in 2018. Crypto, in fact, does not exist, and according to Buffett, it is not backed by anything. In other words, cryptocurrency did not fit into his world picture. How can you buy cheaply something whose value does not depend on anything? And Buffett repeated this thesis many times. Whether it goes up or down in the next year, or 5 years, or 10 years, I don't know. But one thing I'm sure of is that it doesn't multiply. It doesn't produce anything. Something interesting happened in early 2022. Warren Buffett, the most conservative, in our opinion, investor on the planet, invested $1 billion in a crypto-friendly bank. How so? What happened? Maybe cryptocurrency isn't rat poison after all. Maybe. In February 2022, Berkshire Hathaway made its crypto investment public with the SEC filing. It revealed that Buffett's company had purchased $1 billion in shares of Nubank, a digital bank based in Brazil, and the largest of its kind in Latin America. However, both Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, refrained from commenting. There is an opinion that they see other investment opportunities in Nubank, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. It turns out that Warren Buffett has a split personality. On the one hand, he calls crypto as rat poison, even squared. But on the other, he invests some fabulous, by the standards of ordinary people, money in a crypto bank. As is often the case on our channel, not everything is so clear-cut. You see, crypto has been on the market for over 12 years. For the last 8 to 10 years, it has traded in significant volumes. And where there is significant volume, there is always the accompanying infrastructure. And so here it is. Buffett didn't invest directly in cryptocurrency. His assets don't include common cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum or stable coins like Terra. That is why the phrase "Buffett invested in cryptocurrency" should be put in quotation marks. There is a huge chasm between crypto, which has no self-value, which is volatile and unpredictable, and what surrounds it: exchanges, banks, analytical companies, and so on. And the head of Berkshire Hathaway feels this chasm in his gut. Buffett is still not investing in crypto. He invests in companies that can be managed, the activities of which can be predicted, which you can buy cheap and sell expensive. And this is his main principle, which he follows all his conscious life. And this behavior is probably justified. As of June of 2022, Buffett's net worth is estimated at $111.80 billion.